Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name's Michael. I think he said my name's Cleve. And this is welcome back to another episode of Friendship
Supreme.
Or the podcast that dares to ask.
Why don't you want me, man?
Why don't you want me, man? God damn it,
What?
It's just such a sad fucking moment. Anyways.
Yo, that still stabs me in the chest at the end every time. I'm watching it. I watched the whole episode. And I'm watching it knowing it's coming. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so dreading this speech at the end.
He never taught me how to play basketball, but I did that on my own. I'm pretty good. Stupid Will. Anyways, guys, what's today's episode about?
Blaming Will, apparently. Today is about season 4, episode 23. I don't remember.
I think episode 25. Yes, episode 25.
Yes. Season 4, episode 25 of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The dad episode. Here's what's interesting about the dad episode is that the dad is mentioned here and there.
Mm-hmm.
He's mentioned after this episode here and there, but is never seen again. He gets one episode, and it's this one. And I think that might be why it holds so much weight. Maybe if he came back and then disappeared and then came back for this episode, or maybe like he showed up at the end and was like, sorry, I suck, but he never shows up again. It's such a weird level of closure and not closure at the same time.
We were both so close. It was 24. Sorry. Papa's got a brand new excuse.
And he did. He did have a whole new excuse. It's also interesting that in this episode, I think they were saying that he was originally written as a deadbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, no, we want him to have like something where it's like, oh, look, he's a respectable man now. And then still fail.
Right.
That way it like cuts super, super deep. What are your feelings on this episode, Michael? Did it bring up any?
Unfortunately, I've watched this
long-lasting
episode
issues?
so many times at this point. Right? Like
Yeah.
this is a pinnacle of TV. And the reason it's so not sought after, but it's put on such a pedestal is the ending, while very emotional, is all super raw because it's all improv.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for a lot of it is improv. And it genuinely impacted both Will Smith and, God, why am I blanking on his damn name right now? Uncle Phil's the actor's name.
James Avery.
Thank you, James Avery.
R.I.P.
How I forgot. It genuinely impacted them emotionally as people, not as actors. And so, like, you're seeing that emotion. And so we always talk about how Will Smith is just Will Smith, right? Like, no matter what role he's in, he's still Will Smith. There are roles that caters really well to.
One or two here and there, right. I would say. Like the Pursuit of Happiness to me is one where he played another character.
That's fair.
He was not himself, not like Hitch.
Yeah.
Hitch is just, him.
Well, because I was thinking like I Am Legend, where like, we move him into a more serious role, but he still is Will Smith in some aspects. Like his interaction with the mannequin, you can still see him being just him. And it's one of those times where you get to see him being him and not be playful.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, there's the episode where he gets shot because he jumps in front of Carlton when Carlton's getting mugged at an ATM. And the entire time he's in the hospital, he's making jokes. And everybody's trying to just kind of laugh it off with him. He's joking about it. And Carlton gets like super pissed. He's like, take this seriously. Like, this fucking happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Will's like, this is how I deal with it. I'm going to keep joking around and being funny. And so, like, even in the show, he's constantly dealing with it with comedy. And in this one, it's just, it hits you like a sack of bricks. Like, it's not, there's not a lot of funny to this at that point.
Uh, it's funny the nerve of you to be upset with me because I got shot and I don't want to be pissed about it is
That,
very telling to the character of said Carlton. Like the fact that you feel entitled to tell me how I should be reacting to this. Anyway, um,
that
yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, you talk about the improv of all this. In the original script, Will was supposed to act really chill about it, like he always does, and make jokes about it like he always does. And they said Will Smith just decided this I'm going to handle it. Apparently, I thought this also for a while, but Will Smith's dad apparently was a really good dad, and he had a really good relationship with him. But he had a lot of friends who weren't as fortunate with their fathers and just kind of embodied all that into this one scene.
I, I
Okay.
think you could, sorry, never mind, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was to say, I think you could take from both experiences. I think that if you have an amazing relationship with your parent, I think you can use that in acting and
Imagine, yeah.
yeah, like how like how important that person is in your life and how without them what it would have meant. Like if that had reversed.
It's funny you say that because in an interview years later, the actor who played his dad, who played Lou,
Mhm.
said that when he walked off the stage away from Will at the end of the episode, that he started crying because he's got kids and he couldn't imagine being like this to them, and said that he broke down right after.
I think nowadays, setting aside my personal like growing up, because we joke about bad dad club all the time and stuff,
Hmm.
but I think aside from that, I think that's what makes me more emotional about this stuff than anything anymore, is the idea
Yeah,
of like looking at something like this and being like, how could you, in what world could you ever think that something else would be more important than
yeah.
your kids?
I talk to Jennifer all the time because I've not spoken to my father since I was about 16. That's what I was like. Miles or Sam could not want to talk to me, and I wouldn't care. Like, how would you be contacting you?
Every day.
I'd call you, leave your voicemail, and say, "Hey, see, you didn't pick up today. Call you tomorrow." Like, you would eventually, I would eventually wear you down because like you said, I couldn't imagine walking away from that situation like that. I also enjoy in this episode how unapologetically Uncle Phil is about Lou.
uh,
Like, because I often will call out a bad dad also, and I just like that he's like,
I think
it's good you're making money. I wish your wife and kid would have seen any of it the whole time that you were working.
yeah, I think it's important because it's not just bad dads, like not just calling out bad dads, but bad family members. It's tough.
Yeah,
Um, it's just tough. Like you have this weird obligation to family,
yeah,
regard, regardless of what's going on, and severing that is really tough. Uh,
yeah.
Katie's family doesn't handle conflict at all. You've seen before, my family is like our way of dealing with conflict is just diving into it and starting to scream and
Hmm.
yell at each other and move to Texas. Hi guys. But it's weird like how different that can be and how
Hmm.
important it is to be able to call that out when it exists. That's definitely a trait that Cleve has that I'm always envious of. And I wish more people were like that, where they call it as it is, because it does not exist in this world.
Yeah. Every time I see a bad father, I want to punch him in the face. But
I think
that's just that's just how I roll.
so. The premise of February um, is that we wanted to find iconic moments within black TV,
Hmm.
and I think one of the big things that makes this one so important is the unfortunate stereotype that exists that in black homes, it's less likely that the father is around still.
Hmm.
And I think it's been proven time and time again that that's a shitty stereotype that's not necessarily true.
Well, what's great about it is, like, not only does this episode highlight this, but I think it's not remembered as much that the entire show shows this one father who not only cares for all three, eventually four of his kids, but then takes in a fifth kid reluctantly
At
at
first, yeah.
first. But I mean, I think by the end of the series finale, he's like, "You're the only dad I've ever really known," and he's like, "You'll forever be my son. There makes no difference." So I think it's important in TV like this to, even last week when we talked about Static Shock, like the father was very present, and they purposely did not dive into like this one episode where
Right.
the dad's a total piece of shit.
Well, and yeah, no, I think that, and maybe that's why we latched onto these shows so much, is because we see that strong character that doesn't necessarily exist in all shows. In fact, we talked about a lot during an episode where it was literally just episode about dads when we had Al on with us.
Hmm.
And we talked about how there's actually the quite opposite for the most part in media, is like we went through a real phase of like shitty dads in the 90s, and then like in the 2000s it was like incompetent dads, and
Hmm.
now it's like, dumb but funny. I don't like, it's just like it's never like strong male figures in these roles. And so you look at, you're right, Static Shock's dad, you look at Uncle Phil, and here's these pillars of their society, like of their community.
The Family Matters.
Yeah, Family Matters.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
I couldn't think of his name. Winslow.
um. So I think that's what makes those types of characters more appealing, or where we build these connections with them, and for you to get to see Will break down and kind of drop his guard. And then, much like you said, James Avery's character bringing his guard up and being more aggressive and being more
Hmm.
protective, and having that family mentality, that pride mentality of like, this is mine, like this is my child now. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. Like, I know what you're about, and being protective, and being able to take those hits, like, you're not my dad, you're never gonna be my dad, and know
Hmm.
that where that's coming from, and know that that's not, because he could have taken the approach of, all right, fuck you, figure it out, but
Yeah.
instead he was like, I'll step back, but let me still be there as a supporting role.
I think that was good too when he's like, Will's like, I know we both said some things we didn't mean, and Will's like, I meant all of that. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, you got to do this for you, and I understand that. But I don't think I said something I didn't mean. I meant all of it.
Yeah,
I
it
I
was.
think another good thing in this episode too is like the constant reminder of the time missed. When Will looks over and he sees a little boy with his dad, he's like,
I
I didn't get any of this.
Man, that scene hit me hard too. When he looked at, he's like, man, he's throwing good. And he looks at me and goes, yeah, that's my dad. I'm like,
Which is the first time he says it,
fuck. Yep.
which is like halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
It's so funny because just the awkward feeling of like him introducing him to people, and he's like, "This is your uncle," like this is, and then Lou steps in and introduces himself. Uh, well, another underrated scene I think in this episode was the fight between Will and Uncle Phil right before they go and apologize to one another, and he's like, Uncle Phil's trying to tell him what to do and give him advice, and he's like, I don't care what you're saying. You're not my father." I'm like, oof. I imagine someone saying that to me and me not being able to handle that very well at all.
Yeah. No, the way he handled it was impressive, Uncle Phil. And
Hmm.
definitely that of someone that has taken somebody in as their own and not just sees them as a burden. And I think early on you see that from that dynamic between the two of them. But yeah, no, it's a very powerful episode. I think we come back to it a lot. Not we necessarily, but society in whole comes back to it a lot. It's a big deal.
I think anybody who was around when that episode aired live remembers that episode very clearly.
Yeah, that episode was a lot.
On a lighter note, let's get into a new show.
Yeah.
That is on Disney right now. But in fact, by the time this episode airs, it will officially be on Disney Plus to watch. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Lunella Lafayette?
Lunella Lafayette. Yeah.
Lunella. Liking shit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
First 2 episodes, what we got to watch. Initial feelings?
Poor New Jersey. Also not poor New Jersey, but poor New Jersey.
I enjoy it because how many people make fun of Jersey and then just end it there? So for them to several times make the joke, I'm not moving to Jersey. No shade to Jersey. No disrespect. But it's just not for me. Like,
initial thoughts. I really like the animation style. I think it is reminiscent of older cartoons like 90s to early 2000s, more early 2000s era cartoons, but done better, like quality wise, just improved because we have the technology to rebuild it.
To make it stronger.
Music, fantastic. Takes it over the notch. Takes it over the edge for me as far as whether it's going to be a good show or a great show.
I think that her theme song is fantastic.
Moon Grow Magic?
Yeah.
Diamond White sings it. And is the voice of Moon Girl. She actually sings her own theme song, which I thought made it better.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just the best.
Oh, no, absolutely. And it evolves, too. Like, sometimes it's fast-paced. It goes to whatever she's got going on. And then sometimes she has new songs that happen just because they're involved. And it's... The singing was spot on.
Yeah, a lot of awesome, strong voice actors also.
Mm-hmm.
Or actors and actresses, I'll say. Because Mimi, the grandmother, is Mariah Stokes from Luke Cage. If that helps anybody connect those dots. Aftershock, which is the first villain we see, is Alison Brie from Community.
Yes.
I think that Diamond White, I didn't know.
She's
right
done.
away
She's done only a few things. She's a singer, I believe, though. Like, I don't think she did a lot of acting. I think she only did singing, from what I remember when I was looking at IMDb. Yeah.
Even the pops, Gary Anthony Williams. I don't know that there's something you know him from right away, like acting wise. Like, he's been in a lot, but it's like, he's not like the main guy or anything like that. But he does a lot of voice acting also. He's in Velma. I'm sure he's. Anyway.
Unfortunately, I have notes, and I'm like trying to tie back to when it happened and what happened with it. I laughed about the joke about the Avengers. This is just like, should we call the Avengers? And it's like, I think they got other important things to talk about or deal with. But then one of them goes, "Did the Avengers even go east of 14th?" And I was like, yes. This is
exactly.
Luke Cage made that joke.
Mm-hmm.
A very similar joke.
We're not coming down to this side of town.
No. And
the Lower East Side.
The old LES. And I just loved, like, that love for that community and whatnot. And I just, it was a good tie-in to just, the Avengers get global shit. They're not worrying about our poor little area.
A little slice of New York, yeah.
Go ahead.
I enjoyed the best friend, Casey.
You know what? When she first appeared, I was like, God, I'm going to fucking hate this character. And I think by the end of it, she was my favorite character.
Yeah, she's solid. You need representation, right? I got you. Don't even worry about it. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna delete that video. That's not good. That's
The-
not a good one.
The things I took notes on, by the way, are a lot of them are just like weird little Easter eggs, or not weird necessarily, but just little things I noticed. There was several times where there were little heart stickers that said "trans is beautiful," just throughout it randomly on different like kids'
Nice.
bags and stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of cool. Loved the name Geek Lightning. And then
Yeah.
also the villain liked the name. It's just like, that's a
I like that
solid
she was
burn.
like, that was surprisingly hurtful.
She did
I like,
just-
I like when they're face to face and she's like, "You're not a real superhero." She goes, "You're not a real blonde." She was like, "That's an F for today." Out of my class. So the first episode is the Lower East Side keeps losing power, and there's a villain named Aftershock who's just sucking up the power and is like, nobody's gonna care about this side of town losing power, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. And Moon Girl decides that this is her opportunity to try to stop it. She's originally trying to create a power source to power the Lower East Side, and ends up opening a portal. That's how she gets the dinosaur, so on and so forth.
Old
Uh,
Diablo.
huh?
Old Diablo.
She learns to speak dinosaur. By the way, we're dealing with the smartest person in the Marvel universe. No argument.
Yeah.
I was looking at like, because I've never read her comics a lot or anything like that. Apparently, they gave her a Bruce Banner test, and it's a test that Bruce Banner made to test someone's intelligence, and he can't solve it, and he meant it to be unsolvable. And Amadeus Cho as the Hulk, or whatever he went by as the Hulk, gave it to her, and as he's in the middle of talking, she just like hands it back. She's like, "There's your answer. You needed it. You got it."
Yeah, she's worked with Reed Richards before, I believe, in her comic book. Like, there's
Uh,
very...
he tries to call her out too, and she very much puts that in mind. Like,
Yeah.
don't you worry about it.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the... that it's just a little girl. And that we're really pushing into the idea of STEM and how important like knowledge is, and that can be your superpower. And we've talked about it before. Like Tony Stark is, his superpower is that he's rich and smart, but like he's also a shitty person. So here we get this nice, new start to a good person that wants to just anybody like Shuri in the first
Yeah.
Black Panther. Here you go. Here is younger, nicer, more kind Shuri, without all the backing
Riri
of Wakanda.
Williams, but younger,
Yeah, Riri Williams.
and vastly smarter
Yeah.
than all of them together.
She invented a teleportation device that she didn't understand she invented. I'm curious how the dinosaur made it back through the portal, because she watched
I didn't understand
him
that
walk
either.
in, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I can let that go.
That one
I
I
can
let
move
go.
on. What episode? That's fine.
I do want to point out, anybody that's watching, and if you watch it on, because it's free on YouTube through the Disney YouTube channel, 28 minutes and 57 seconds, Cleve. And I wrote the comment, "Oh, you thought you were sneaky putting Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura in a fucking classroom. Did you catch that?" In one random 2-second clip, they're sitting in a classroom, and it's those three sitting together, right next to each other. One of them's falling asleep. Yeah, 28 minutes and 57 seconds.
Oh yeah, yep, there they are.
I was just like, all right. And like, I don't even watch the show, but I caught it immediately. I was like, no, pause it. I gotta make a note of this. So
That's funny.
obviously the writers of this show are fans.
Very self-aware too.
Yeah.
Like very good timing joke wise. Like the next episode is about an internet troll that's fucking with her. Very unsubtle, by the way, about this internet troll and how to handle it. But the kids chill. So I ignore all that. But I like when Casey is like, when Javier mentioned that I had an ugly scrunchie, you know how I handle it? She was like, "You punched him in the face." She was like, "Regrettably, yes, I did. But what did I do after that?" She was like, "I saw it. All the kids saw it when you did it. Like, what are we What are we talking about here?
It's such a solid relationship between those two.
Yeah.
And
Very, very easily, like, just organic
yeah,
chemistry.
it feels like that makes sense, all of it. And like they've neither one of them have really ever had friends before. It checks out.
Mhm.
At one point in time, Moon Girl starts forgetting or not believing in herself, says, I'm not, how can I do this? I don't have the dinosaur anymore. I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not smart enough. She's going to beat me. And Casey looks at her and goes, just to let you know, I believed in you.
Yeah. You inspired me.
And it was like, well, geez. All right.
There's something to say. There's an easy lovability about neighborhood heroes.
Yeah.
And like I'm just trying to help my neighborhood. I'm just trying to help because I mean we felt the same thing with Daredevil and Luke Cage and you know, I wouldn't necessarily say Iron Fist.
Nobody in the world said
And
Iron Fist,
I
unfortunately.
don't say it's hard to say Jessica Jones because she's such a complicated character of like what she's got going on, and I get it.
I don't think she ever really protected the community.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And like, she had
Cage
her
and
reasons for only
Daredevil.
caring about herself, so whatever, I'll let that go. But and Spider-Man goes such high heights, but at the end of the day is the friendly neighborhood. I'll get your cat out of a tree, no problem, don't worry about it. And it's so easy to love a character like that. It's just like I just want to take care of my people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot.
It's a really good show. Oh my god, the music is so good. The
It
art is
really
so
is.
good.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm not sure yet because we've only seen 2 episodes, but it seems like there's a song, at least a song at the end of each episode, and it is good. It is the song with the troll on the bridge, and she's like skateboarding.
Mm-hmm.
She's like skating backwards and got her shoulders. Like fuck, this is. I'll buy a whole album of this. This is good. This is all good stuff.
She incorporates roller skates a lot, and her family owns a roller rink.
Mhm.
But I do enjoy like her just kind of grooving out.
Yeah.
Um, how many times are we gonna make jokes about old technology? I don't know. I can only handle so much for you making fun of my childhood. Okay, only so much.
And then just little jokes too. And she's like about reality TV when she's like, I gotta go watch my show. She was like, you mean that show where the guy picks a girl based on smell? She was like, first of all, it's called
Shouldn't
Love
eat.
Scent.
Shouldn't eaten so much garlic fries.
I told you to stay with that garlic bread.
Garlic bread. That's what it's. Damn it. She's like, no, I'm gonna have to watch it next week when it's on TiVo.
That's what she was mad about. Yeah.
The one. Okay, if I had to complain about one thing, fourth wall breaks. I fucking hate them. I really do. So
All the time?
occasionally,
Never like them? Or what?
I would say occasionally, I get it and it works and it's fine.
How many times they do? I only remember
It's
one.
only one.
Okay.
And there's only one that I made a comment about, and so like
I don't
as long
remember
as
what it
we,
was. What was
I
it?
don't remember. I just put fourth break wall sigh. Like, come on, I just
Well,
don't
then
need it.
you gotta let it go. If you can't remember, you gotta let it
That's
go.
what I was gonna say. I'm gonna drop it. If it continues on though, it might get annoying.
I don't know. I mean, did you enjoy
Oh,
Deadpool's
that's what it
fourth wall
was.
breaks?
It was something about. It was something about how you have a show that gets canceled after 2 episodes or something, and then they looked at the screen.
Mm. Yeah, it was like if I can't beat this villain or something like that, then
Yeah,
it
how can
will
I
only
get
be
past
one
the first
episode.
season or something? Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I was like, all right, fine. I just
What's
don't
funny
need
is
it
I don't know if it's a
consistently
joke
happening.
that a kid's gonna get right away, so it
Right.
has to be for you.
Did I like all of Daredevil's? No, Deadpool's. No, I think in the comic books it's done well, and I enjoy
Hmm.
it and I understand it. In the movies, it can get overly abused and annoying.
My favorite Deadpool one is when he breaks the fourth wall and a flashback. He's like a fourth wall break. What's inside a fourth wall break? That's like 16 walls. It's like that's all right. Yeah, whatever.
And they can be
I'm
comedic
okay with
and
that joke.
they can be well used. I just if it gets heavy, it's like all right.
when he kills the Green Lantern, are you okay with that one? Or he didn't get to kill Green
That
Lantern
was like a
because he doesn't own
post-credit,
that.
but
What happened?
it's post-credit.
Um,
Anyway, the show's amazing. I
yeah,
was just trying to find one thing I can complain about, just because
yeah, that's fair.
I need to be semi.
And I mean, I think that episode was 45 minutes, the
Yes.
first one, and I mean, it never happened again. So
Yeah. Fair.
if that's the only thing that you dislike, then
Yeah.
that's a good that's a good review.
When she told the dinosaur she didn't want him no more,
Cat sad.
I got so sad. I was so
I
sad.
like the fact that she speaks dinosaur just
Yeah.
so easily.
She took it. It took her only a day.
Yep, because she's
She learned to speak it.
in the
He
comics.
is no.
Apparently, she's
Sorry.
in the comics. Apparently, she's half inhuman,
Oh.
but that has nothing to do with like her intelligence. Like that's all her. I don't even remember what power she gets from the Terrigenous, whatever.
I was
Nobody cares about
curious.
anything anymore.
Nobody does, unfortunately. The TV show did terrible, so even the fucking comics had to just kill them
I
all
watched that
off.
whole. I watched that whole show.
It was rough. I
I'll
think
never
it was the
forget.
first like
I
five
just look.
episodes.
I just
Four
look
episodes.
out in the sky whenever I think about it.
And humans. Um. No, first episode was amazing. Second episode was really good. Do you have any notes on the second episode that you wanted to talk about, other than the
Um,
troll being
I like that we used
hilarious?
the symbiote and that we knew about it very easily.
We did.
That was interesting.
We're really
No question about it.
dragging Venom into this now. Wasn't it Morbius that there was a post scene that brought Venom into it?
Yeah.
Thank God for
No,
Morbius.
that was one of the Spider-Man movies that made it.
I thought it
Where?
was
Wait, no.
Morbius, and he's at a bar at the end of it.
That I think it was just Venom,
Oh, okay.
and then they fixed it back in Spider-Man. Like, just kidding. You're separate. Don't look over there. You changed your mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see if we have any crossovers. It's hard for Marvel not to. They love to do it.
They do love to do it. I don't know. There are some Marvel cartoons that are more that range, I suppose.
Well, I mean, and you don't even need to be, right? You just introduce a character.
Yeah, that's fair.
She can see Shuri tomorrow, and you wouldn't question it. You know what I mean? Well, so it just kind of varies, kind of depends.
Yeah, definitely.
I say that now. I wonder what type of Shuri they'd give us.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
It's
I
definitely good. If you haven't seen it, guys, you definitely need to
can't
go check it
recommend
out.
it enough. So adorable the whole
Even
time.
yeah, if you had a problem with Sam Wilson getting the shield over Bucky Barnes, don't go watch this. 'Cause I don't want you to enjoy it or have that experience in your life. Because you'll
That's
just
fair.
find something to complain about, like fourth wall breaks, and I'll really hate you for it.
I super had Spider-Verse vibes the entire time watching it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like
Ooh,
the color tones and the
yeah,
changes and music incorporation.
different art style,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I know what you're saying about the
yeah.
colors and stuff. No, it was beautifully done. It was really well done. Kudos to you, Marvel, because I honestly have been met on a lot of your shows lately.
And the one for kids is the one that
And the
fucking
one for
knocks it out of the
kids
park.
knocks it out for me, man. I guess it kind of works because I think even Miss Marvel would have been the one that I liked the most out of the last
So the ones for
couple.
little girls.
Yeah,
It's the ones that we're like, yeah, I love it.
I'm a brony now. Oh no. But no, I think they did a really good job. I think it's just exciting to see something that I now am gonna get to drag my daughter into watching and be like, "You fucking like this now," so that she can
Yep,
also be nerdy like me.
agreed.
Yeah, that's what I'm on board for. Plus, it's much more light and happy and jovial than Will's dad not wanting him. God damn it!
Yeah, my child will never see that episode.
He just
No, he'll never have to worry about it. We'll go season 4, episode 23 to 25.
yeah, Mother's Day to For Sale by Owner. Um, It's 23 and 24. Or 25. Let us know if what you guys thought about Moon Girl, if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, let us know how it felt to watch Will have his heart break. Because everybody's seen this, right? If you haven't, then you just have no taste in TV.
If you haven't and you're listening to us, please come. I'm very interested in knowing how you
What
found
dragged
us.
you to us? We appreciate all of you guys. Yeah.
Fresh Prince, HBO Max. If you're interested, Moon Girl will be on Disney Plus the day this episode airs on the 15th, February 15th. But you can watch it
On Disney Channel as well.
Yeah. And YouTube.
And YouTube.
Right after you get done watching us, you can go to that.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. We really appreciate all of you guys. Let us know what you guys thought about the shows down below. If you guys have anything you want to hear us talk about, let us know. Maybe we'll talk about it next month. Thanks for hanging out with us. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve. What do you want me, man?
God damn it. Don't say that.